Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Minus Four podcast. It's Patrick here, and I'm joined by Cillian
Hello.
and Darren.
How's it going?
So it's game week 32, lads. It's been a while since we've done one of these. How have you been getting on?
Uh, all right, I suppose. Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm not really well set up for a game week 32 because if anyone can remember, I didn't wildcard when everyone else wildcarded. I still have my wildcard available, but I remain hopeful that my wildcard will pay off in game week 33. So, lately hasn't been great, but holding on.
How about you, Cillian? How's it been going?
Do you know what? 2 weeks ago, I had a fantastic little week now. I was really, really happy. And then it was kind of counteracted by this week gone because it was a shit show. But I'm in a better position than Darren because I still have my little free hit chip ready to go for this week. So, yeah, do you know what? I'm hopeful. I have my team ready to go. I'm hopeful for this week coming now, hoping that it'll be I suppose, redemption for last week.
Redemption, that's a good word. It describes what we're looking for this season. Yeah, so we've got a few things on the show today. We're going to talk about how we got on in game week 31, and we've actually got a couple of free hit teams we've made up, myself and Cillian, so we're going to discuss that, as well as some of the headlines that are, we've stolen from other people online, as we do, and then we can give our opinions on that. But we'll jump into the podcast now with Darren's Game Week 31 team. So, do you want to talk us over, Darren?
Yeah, so basically the only transfer I made going into that game week was I took How Felix out. He was a complete flop. I had him in for 2 game weeks. He didn't do anything for me. And I brought Jesus in. Really happy with that. And I'm happy. I kind of was planning to bring him in because they're playing Southampton now next as well. So at least he's going to be locked in for game week 32. As you mentioned there, I'm not free hitting, so this is what my team is going to be looking like for game week 32. I will have a few changes to make. But yeah, game week 31, 56. Considering the average is 55, look, happy enough. Jesus scored well, Trent done well for me, Kepa done well for me, Grealish as well, who I brought in a couple of weeks ago, done well again, Martinelli. So happy enough. The only, I suppose, thing that's missing in the team that a lot of people have that I'm jealous that I don't have is a bit of Ollie Watkins. Would have loved to bring him in. I just wasn't able to, considering I didn't wildcard. I didn't have enough transfers. So, but brought Jesus in, and he was probably the difference of me kind of getting over the 50 mark. So happy enough.
Yeah, you'll take it.
Yeah,
could have been worse, definitely. And I see you've got Rashford and Shaw on the bench there. Both of them would missed a few games due to injury, but luckily, I think this may be a bit of a spoiler for a section later on the show, but looks like those guys could be back to fitness now, so they'll be really handy for... I was going to say they'll be really handy for game week 34 when they double, but you're going to wild card anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me. And funny enough, I actually forgot to bench boost a couple of game weeks ago as well, so I still have that active. So I'm really hoping 33 onwards with the bench boost, with my wild card. If I get the wild card right, things could turn around.
Yeah, you could have a tasty bench boost now in 34, or you could save it to the last game. That might be a bit exciting.
I can just imagine him slipping the finger now and bench boost this week with nobody on his bench.
Yeah, wouldn't be a good week to do it this week, I don't think.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
I don't think it's optimal. No.
Anyway, Cillian, let's look at your game week 31 team. Ooh, makes for some grim reading there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say much about it, to be honest. It was just a bit of a fucking mess all around. It's bad when your keeper, who's on 5 points, scored more than nearly everybody on your team except one. Well, two, Martinelli. So Martinelli and Haaland, only people really getting me points at all this week, other than Raya. And my bench then was, I don't think I would have had any other. I had Rashford starting and Martinelli came on. So can you imagine if Rashford had played for a few minutes and come off? That would have been some crack anyway. But yeah, like Raya and Kepa, I mean, it was just a toss in the air to which one I was getting there. But no, I was disappointed with Newcastle now. They played not very good, or they were, well, or maybe they played well, but the other team was just as good now. They kind of held them, I believe, from what Aidan was saying anyway, that they did well to hold them in place. But yeah, I can't really say much else. Everything else was just absolutely dog. It was. I was actually confident enough. I don't think I made one transfer this week.
Yeah. On paper, Cillian, that looks like a really good team for last game week. You just shit luck, man. So you get that.
Sure,
to be fair, Saka kind of had a.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, hey. But listen, if there's one thing I've learned while doing this podcast is that if it's good on paper, there's a 99% chance that it probably won't be as good on the pitch. But hey, sure, what can you do?
Well, this is it. That's why the game's so interesting. It's hard to predict. It would be very easy to play if we all did the same team each week. So,
well, that's it. And sure, you know yourself. I don't usually. It's very rare that I will follow with the exact same team as somebody else. So I always usually have my, diamond in the rough in there. Now, granted, this week wasn't. There wasn't much of a diamond. Maybe if Fabian Schär, maybe, but. Yeah, no, overall, it wasn't a happy camper. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, you found some of that fake diamond stuff, fool's gold or whatever.
That's what it was. Yeah, got it out of a Rice Krispie packet.
Lovely. Anyway, here's my team, 62 points. Better than used to, but again, not great. The just very average. I think I did get a green arrow, but it was only like 5,000 places, so I'm still stuck somewhere around 400,000 in the world, maybe nearly 500,000. So it is an improvement. Over the past few weeks, I have been so slowly moving up the ranks, overtaking Darren there with some tactful play. In terms of my team, I relied quite heavily on Haaland and Watkins for the points there. Grealish has been great to get in. I got him in a couple of weeks ago, so I got his hauls there. He's really on fire at the minute, so I'm glad to have him. It was
the same as you, Patrick. I took him in when he started giving back some good output as well, yeah, so good shout, yeah.
Yeah, last week actually started really well because I was really... the first few games went really well for me with Watkins and Grealish, Haaland, March. Good returns there, but as the week went on, things started to go to shit with Saka missing a penalty. Zinchenko, who I did have starting, missed a game through injury, and no one said anything about it until the day of. So that was disappointing. And I believe not having Martinelli or any of the Liverpool boys was a real, struggle for the last couple of games there. The rank kind of got hit pretty hard. But yeah,
if you had Salah, Salah was just on fire there the weekend, and Jota and Nunez, but
this is it. And Reece James, I've enjoyed having because he's played every game the past few. I think he did get benched, but he came on, and he's so dangerous. Like, he's definitely the best. He's playing very attacking, and he's getting lots of crosses into the box. But unfortunately, there's no one on the in a Chelsea shirt who's able to finish off these chances that he's creating.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was watching the Champions League game last night, and the amount of tap-ins that Chelsea had in the box, and just no one was able to convert them. So yeah, James was always a good player to have in, but the way Chelsea are at the moment, he's just not really firing at all cylinders, sure, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real shame, but I'm going to keep him in now, probably to the end of the season, so hopefully he can get a few assists for me, but we'll see how we get on. Aidan's team, let's have a quick look at this. Did best out of all of us, but still I think he'll probably be disappointed with this because it's kind of just another sort of grey arrow for him. He's still in around 2k in the world or something, so he's doing really well. So and he's got the sort of same bench as a lot of us, with Rashford and Shaw, so he's set up well for the double and he'll be free hitting this week. So Ayla could, in fact, get into the top 1k. It looks like it's on for him. I wish him well. No chance of catching him now at this point, so we might as well just wish him on. Yeah, but sure, look. Anyway, let's move on to the fixtures now this week. As you can see here by this very colourful graphic from the FPL website, we can see the sort of the teams that are blanking this week, and just from looking at that graphic this week, it looks like a lot of the teams that are playing have nice fixtures, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, like I love the Arsenal game there, like Southampton. I know they kind of had a little bit of a blip there against West Ham, but the way Southampton are playing, I'd say that'll be definitely a tasty fixture. And even the Liverpool one, considering they're coming off that win against Leeds, playing Forest, who lost a lot of games lately, like it'll be some good fixtures to target, I'd say.
Definitely. And yeah, you mentioned the Arsenal game there. Which Arsenal players do you think would be best for this game week?
Big Jesse up front. Jesus.
Jesse?
I was like, who's Jesse?
Who?
Jesse March or something? I was like, what?
We go well back, me and Jesse. No, Jesus, I would say, going to be a tasty man to have sitting up front now. Your Martinelli and your Odegaard, of course, Saka to support him. You know, I'd say they're kind of the four players you want to be picking from. I don't know about defensively. Okay, you have Zinchenko, okay, or you have kind of a type White, but I don't know. For some reason, I can feel it in my nipples that Southampton is going to sneak one in the first half. It's going to be Ward-Prowse and
Ward-Prowse free kick. Yeah,
heard it here first.
And listen, I think the old defensive line. In my opinion, I do think that Southampton will score at least one in that game. But, again, Jesus, I think, is going to be a surefire for up front, though. They might concede, but with the way Jesus is back and risen from the dead, just after Easter here, so he's ready to go again, you know. So
very topical, Cillian.
That's it. So they'd be the four that I would kind of pick away from now. Darren, what are you thinking yourself?
Yeah, no, I'd probably agree. Like, I wouldn't be going, like, if I was going for a defender, I'd probably be going for Ben White. Anytime I've had him in lately, and anytime I've benched him, he's come up with a goal or an assist or something. Even if he does concede, he still will kind of give you a return. But I suppose most people will be free hitting, so I think Jesus is definitely the top of the list. I'd be going Martinelli and Saka after that, really. I know Saka didn't do well last week, but I think he's still definitely such a threat. Defense-wise, I think I'd be looking at like maybe an Aston Villa player to get in. Definitely Trent is definitely the top of the list. The position he's been playing there lately is more of a kind of midfield role, and he's kind of picking up some good positions and chipping in on assists. Hard to know really who else to go for in defence for the.
What about Palace?
Yeah, maybe, or Brentford even. What do you think, Patrick?
Well, Palace have looked quite good actually recently under the new manager, or the new old manager, Roy Hodgson. So could be a shout to get some defenders in for Palace, but I definitely think we want to get a Palace attacker, probably one of their midfielders. So maybe Eze or Olise, or I don't know if Zaha's playing at the minute.
Zaha, I was going to say. Yeah.
But those two I mentioned are definitely in my considerations. Yeah, you mentioned defence, Darren. There's definitely a possibility of playing maybe a double Liverpool defence. What do you think about that?
Yeah, geez, 100%. I mean, yes and no. I feel like when you're bringing Trent in, you know, even if he, like, for example, Liverpool conceded against Leeds, but because his attacking output was so high and the fact that he chipped in with, I think he got 2 assists, it kind of, you know, it's not really, you're not coming away with maybe a 1 or 2 point defender. Whereas it's the same thing for Robertson. If you go with Andy Robertson, let's say he brings the same thing to the table. They might concede, but you know, he's quite likely to maybe come up with an assist or even a goal or something. So if I was going Liverpool defenders, I'd probably only be going for the fullbacks, to be honest.
You wouldn't go for Big Van der Dijk, no?
No, I wouldn't. No, I just think Liverpool, although they scored 6 goals against Leeds at the weekend, they're just not. They're not playing the way they should be playing. I don't 100% trust them. But look, he could be a good shout. Like, to be honest, like he could perform. But I would be playing it safe and I would be going for the fullbacks. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And then Newcastle obviously playing Spurs this week. A lot of people are going to have Kane, and a lot of people are going to have Trippier. So out of those two, you could play both. But if you wanted to maximize your potential upside, who would you pick out of those two?
Kane, probably.
Yeah, it'd be Kane for me too. Like I think
Newcastle are kind of crumbling as of late. Especially the defense line. I think they're conceding a lot more now. And Trippier hasn't been capitalizing as much of with up front either. He hasn't been contributing as much as he was. But like either way, this game is going to have goals on both sides, I reckon.
Oh yeah,
But so if you're going to take from the two, I mean, Kane is probably your best bet out of those two now. Now, if you're having yourself an Isak maybe or something, that's a good chance as well for a Newcastle player maybe instead of Trippier. But I'm not too sure about Trippier now going into this match here. I'll be perfectly honest with you.
I mean it's more the danger of not having him, because every team like Darren who's not free hitting is going to have Trippier, and if he he's capable of big hauls. So if he gets a big haul, then we're going to lose a lot of rank not having him. That'd be my
it's
only
hard to
worry.
know. It's a funny time of the season. Like, it's particularly when you look at Spurs, like the season they've had, and like I think Newcastle have an amazing season, but they had a wee kind of a bump on the road last weekend, and I mean Spurs are still a quality outfit. They have good players. It's whether they're able to actually, perform on the day. So I think it'll be a funny one. It'll be a funny game. That I think the other fixture there that's gonna standing out for me is the Leicester and Wolves game.
It matters.
Yeah, there's been so much talk with James Maddison over the last couple of games weeks, and he hasn't quite done it. But I'm actually of the opinion that he's still not going to do it against
He's been crap.
Wolves. But a lot of people will argue otherwise. I wouldn't be bringing him in my free hit team if I was. I'd be going for a Villa midfielder nearly quicker.
Definitely. I think maybe
That's
not.
just my opinion.
I don't know if there is any standout Villa midfielders now, but yeah, definitely wouldn't go for a Leicester player. I did have Madison, but I got him out for Grealish a while ago, and that was a great decision because they've been so bad. I can see them getting relegated this year.
Yeah, they've been bad. Yeah.
So he'll be off to Newcastle himself, Madison, at the end of the season. So we'll be all getting him in our teams for next year.
Ooh. There you go.
You heard it here first. Well, probably not first.
Or second, or third.
Top 100 anyway. Top 100.
Top 100 at least. Yeah, that's a good one. We'll go with that.
A few headlines from Reddit then, boys. I've just sort of stolen some stuff from Hey the Mavic and all the like. The same guys posting every time. So
we don't steal, we borrow.
Yes.
Okay.
So we've got some
Disclaimer.
stats. We've got some stats this week. We've got the goals scored for the past 6 and goals conceded. The fewest goals scored there. Chelsea and West Ham. The most Arsenal and Man City. Liverpool there, second. Newcastle and Villa in third. So both of them played each other last week, but it was Villa who did all the scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Man United with only 5 goals there. Does that surprise you, Darren?
Not really. Like, I mean, they've kind of been playing through a rough patch themselves, but I think they're kind of coming out the other side of it, even though they have kind of injury doubts at the moment. But I mean, looking at the stat there, but the goal scored, it kind of reflects on the players we have in our fantasies, like your Haalands, your Jesus, Ollie Watkins,
A lot of Brighton
Salah,
players
all
as
that kind
well
of
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, yeah, like it's a good stat, but I suppose it's definitely a good way to look at maybe your free hit approach. Like, if you're trying to load up on them players from them teams, yeah.
Yeah, or target the teams that basically don't score many for our defences. Yeah, you see Southampton there, only scored 4 goals in the past 6 matches, and they have created the second lowest expected goals. So maybe an Arsenal defender could be, I know it's just dependent on the match and there's other factors, but definitely Arsenal's defense could be an option based on that
Well,
data.
the one at the bottom's interesting. Like when you look at the bottom two, actually, if you go shots on target and big chances, you have Forest and Southampton kind of in that kind of bracket. I mean, you're kind of going to want to target teams that are playing against them this week, and like, you know,
Liverpool and Arsenal.
Exactly. So like you're going to be wanting to load up on them in a way. It's funny enough that United has 18 big chances there, but they're just obviously not scoring the goals.
Yeah, I feel like Big Weghorst is just not a good finisher, and Martial's come in there slightly better, but he'll probably get injured again if we bring him in. So I'll definitely not recommend it him.
No.
But yeah, speaking of United players, Marcus Rashford looks like he's back in training now. So a lot of people took him out there last week. Maybe they'll be regretting that now because it looks like he'll be fit for potentially the weekend and then the midweek game that he's playing in 33, I believe. So definitely keeping a close eye on that. I think Luke Shaw you can see him there just behind that little guy at the front. That's Luke Shaw as well. So both him and Rashford back in training.
He's behind Palestri there, isn't it? I think
behind that little guy.
Yeah, Palestri, is it?
I think it's Palestri beside to the left of Fred there, is it?
Yeah, and I can see big Harry Maguire there. Can't miss him.
Yeah.
Might make.
I think bad mistake for anyone who did take him out. I think like he would have been worth keeping on the bench, particularly with the doubles United have coming up. But yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And last bit of news, just the goal scorer odds I thought I'd bring up. So this probably leads into who we're going to be picking as captain this week. I don't know, are you going to try and get Salah into your team, Darren, do you think?
Yeah, so basically the way I'm set up is at the moment I think I have 4 players blanking if I don't do any transfers. So I think it's Grealish, 2 Brighton players, and my keeper. So what I'm hoping to do is do 2 to 3 transfers, and Salah is at the top of the list, followed by Eze as of yet. So if I do bring Salah in, it'll be literally, I'd say, a flip coin between him or Jesus for captaincy.
Ooh, going against Salah would be controversial, I think, this week. I think a lot of people are just going to stick it on him. I mean, like, he's 52% chance of scoring there against Forest. I think he'll be my captain, but we'll talk about captains at the end. Let's any players there that you're considering bringing in, Cillian?
I mean, I mentioned him already. Jesus, I think, is in my eyes is going to be the best shout for probably even captaincy this week. As out of these, Salah to Forest. If you have the money, I suppose that's the big thing that separates the two of them. But yeah, I mean, Nketiah is very high up there.
Yeah, this is assuming that he starts.
He won't play though, will he? That's the thing.
No, that's
he
the
won't
thing.
play. Yeah, this is the bookies odds. So like they assume that every player is going to start. So this is the odds. Yeah. So you'll see Arsenal players there. Jota is actually the 4th. I would say Jota is probably going to start, but definitely has competition there from Darwin and Gakpo. So
how do you feel about Ollie Watkins being so far down in that list?
Well, I think he's got a slightly tougher fixture against Brentford away. I definitely think Salah and Jesus, who are also in form, have better fixtures. So that's probably why he's got a lower goal scorer odd. Plus, he is kind of overperforming. You know what? Like he's not. He doesn't create as much sort of expected goals or whatever as the other two. And then there's a lot of data sort of which would suggest that over the past few years, Salah would be more likely to score because he's just been more consistent. Whereas Watkins is obviously in great form now. So all that's probably calculated into it.
It's funny that you mentioned consistency though. Like the thing for me, and it's probably something that I'm going to be like contemplating over my head to try and decide whether I'm putting the captaincy on Salah or Jesus. When you want to talk about consistency, Liverpool have not been consistent this season at all.
I was about to say there's a
Yeah.
bit of dirt on my screen in the middle of that top line there. I can't seem to get rid of it. I think it says Darwin. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's why I'd be more inclined to go for Jesus. But as you said, Patrick, like it is Salah at the end of the day. Like, so I don't know, hard to know.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, lads, so me and Cillian, we've mentioned it before, we're doing the free hit this week. So we've both done our drafts. So we're going to discuss this now. Let's start off with my free hit team. So I've got
Very nice.
Sam Johnston for Crystal Palace in nets. I've got Trippier, Alexander-Arnold, and White in defence. I've got Salah captain. I've got Martinelli, Gakpo, and Eze. And then I've got Watkins, Jesus, and Solanke, who's playing West Ham.
Solanke there.
Yeah, I think he was on the previous screen. He was on the goal scorer odds, just right at the bottom. But he's basically my differential this week. I think he's gonna do something. I think he's been in decent form, and he has the potential to get a goal. And I think West Ham are very leaky, so I'm gonna bet on Solanke this week. I think the other person I was considering in that position was maybe either Jota, but just the fact that Darwin exists makes Jota a bit less appealing, because you might get rotated in and out. I do like Gakpo though this week. I think he played quite well the last day, so I'm going to take a punt on him as well. What do you think,
looks
lads?
good. Strong bench as well there.
Yeah, a lot of the bench could potentially get Alex Moreno's been in good form for Villa, one of the highest scoring defenders over the past while. And Andreas, I was playing Leeds. Now, Leeds have been terrible. They're the guys who let in 6 goals against Liverpool. So Andreas definitely could contribute there. And he's on penalties now that Mitrovic is actually suspended, isn't he? So it'll be him hitting the penalties if there are any. Yeah, and I just feel like the only issue is that Leeds are obviously scrapping for to avoid relegation, whereas Fulham aren't really playing for anything, so they might not even show up. They're probably on the beach at this point, so possibly an issue there. That's why he's on the bench for now. But any other thing?
I like your team. Solanke would be the only one that I'd be kind of worried about, but as you said, it's your differential, so you kind of have to trust it yourself. But looking good for a free hit.
What do you think, Killo?
I like it. I like it a lot, to be honest. Same as Darren though. Solanke was kind of, I don't know. I was thinking more a West Ham kind of job this week instead of the
really
Bournemouth. But yeah, to be honest, I don't know.
Who? Jesus knows.
Jesus, who knows? I suppose.
Let's actually before you say anything, let's look at your team here.
Yeah. So, oh my God, there's a West Ham here on my pitch. What's happening here?
For a second there, I thought Ollie Watkins had transferred to West Ham when I seen the jersey, but then I realised he didn't.
So this team, I've actually already changed it quite a bit. So, Allison Guehi, I think.
Yeah.
I have Trent in there. Trippier, I've gotten rid of, and I've put in Mings.
Nice.
I have Gakpo. I got rid of Madison. Someone mentioned about 15 minutes ago there was a terrible choice, and I was kind of like agreeing. Don't know who it was, but I got rid of him. I put in Ramsey for Villa.
Right. Okay.
Listen. Let me cook. I have Bowen in there. We'll just move on past that one. I have Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. Arsenal triple up. Captain on Jesus. Absolutely this week. And then I have Ollie Watkins. And yeah, I've also I asked just before the podcast about the Crystal Palace keeper and whether it was a good shout. And I've actually taken him in for Raya as well. So I don't want to hear, oh, you're sheeping Gribbon. No, because I asked before Gribbon even mentioned him. All right. Yeah, that's my team so far. But like I said, there's probably one or two more things I end up actually changing. Like, whether I go with Ramsey and maybe not. I don't think I have enough. See, money is my thing now. I'd love to switch from Ramsey. I had Gakpo and I took in Salah, actually.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the point that you don't have Salah in this team.
Yes.
That's very out there.
So on this team here, I didn't have enough for Salah, but again, getting rid of Maddison and downgrading Trippier as well, I had enough for Salah. But again, I wouldn't mind. I might change Bowen for Gakpo. I'm not too sure. I'd like to just test the water and see how it goes, kind of thing.
Cillian, the way you're talking, your free hit team will look nothing like what it's looking like right now on the screen.
Listen, no, Trent's there. Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus aren't moving.
They're all locked in.
Watkins is not being touched, and Guehi or Guhi, whatever you pronounce it,
right.
He's not budging either. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really unsure. Okay, because again, I had a fucking shite week last week, and I want to make up for it.
Cillian. It's okay.
It's all right, man. It's okay.
I'm stressed out. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm freaking out. So, yeah, that's going to be my wild card provisional. I'm not going to say team because it's going to change about 5 times before.
All right,
tomorrow morning.
Moving on.
Mr. Indecisive over here. Mr. Indecisive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you know what?
Anyway, Cillian, we'll figure that out in the long grass.
Yeah, sorry.
Darren, we'll quickly come to you. Just you kind of went over your transfers there, but do you want to go over them again?
Yeah, so I'll shout out my team to you, so it'll give you some way idea. It's very much like your free hit team, Patrick. Well, you're 3 in defense anyway. So my keeper at the moment.
It's very much like your entire team except 3 players.
Well, hear me out. So my keeper, Kepa, obviously has a blank game week. I've had Danny Ward on my team since about 8 weeks ago. Obviously, he's not playing at the moment, so he's going to start a net. He's not going to get me any points. My 3 in defense is same as that, Patrick, Trippier, Arnold, and White, which I'm actually very happy with. And then, as it stands, the only midfielder I have that's actually fielding at the weekend is Martinelli. I have Grealish, Matoma, and McAllister, so 2 of them will be coming out, and they will be replaced by Salah and Eze. I'm not sure if I'm going to go for a third transfer, which would mean a -8. If I was going for a third transfer, it would be Grealish out, and I'm not sure on that midfielder yet. And then as it stands, I have Kane, Tony, and Jesus up front. So not looking too bad, but could be better, but I'm just kind of holding out to 33 where I can wildcard and hopefully just haul in some points between then and the end of the season.
Nice one.
I think the -8 play is some big cojones. I like that. That's some...
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do that though because it is -8. Like, and if the players I bring in,
you've said it now, and we've all heard it. So you need to. That's how it works.
I suppose it's better than it's better. Yeah, at least you have the potential for to get some of those points back, as opposed to just getting nothing. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, I like the idea of having Kane and Tony as well. I mean, we didn't mention them at all in this podcast, but
yeah, something different. Yeah.
Well, this is it. Like, over the season, those guys have been more consistent than the guys we have, so could work out well for you. Hope it does. No, I don't.
Shall see.
No, I don't. Hope it does. But anyway,
thank you.
Let's.
Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, I have a very special member of my team for this free hit too. I never mentioned him. He's coming back from a long holiday, and he's just going to sit on the bench and kind of watch a match. I have Pontus Jansson in this week, lads. I thought he felt a little bit left out for a while, so I thought I'd just throw that in there.
Can't see Pontus Jansson on the bench there, Cillian.
Yeah, well, you see, there's an extra 4th slot on my bench, actually, funny enough. It's on the right-hand side there beside me, and he's going to just tag him out when he comes into it, a little bit closer.
Beside you, is it?
Beside me, yeah. He's going to be sitting right beside me the whole week, Darren. Don't you worry. But you'll see him on my team come the score sheet next week. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I think with some bad news about Pontus Jansson, Cillian.
He's out forever.
He's also leaving Brentford, I believe.
Oh no.
I think he might be. I think he might be heading somewhere else. I think I read this article and I can't find it now.
I don't think I'm ready for this news right now.
Yeah. Breaking news is gone.
Process this. Can we get some sad music on?
Yeah, you're going to be lost without him. You're going to have to find another pet player to keep in your
another
team.
idol. Yeah.
Yeah. We look forward to that. Right, lads. Let's finish this off with some trivia. Quick trivia this week. Please get this quickly so we can all go
Patrick,
to bed.
is this another Man United player?
It is.
Is it Chicharito again?
No, it's not. I thought we're trying to speed this up, okay? So, nice, easy Man United player for you to pick. You have 10 questions, so don't mess it up.
Okay.
Hold on, and I need to get to the Wikipedia article up here in case I don't know any of your questions. Okay.
Do we normally go for country first, Cillian, don't we? Or
Yeah,
nationality?
we're gonna do Europe first, Darren.
Okay. Is he European?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Right. I'm out. It's not Chicharito.
All right. Cheers, sound.
Is he from?
Wait, actually, before you ask this question, he's European now. Brexit, England doesn't count.
No, I was going to say the
Brexit. That does. Still in Europe.
Does he live in an EU member state?
Is that a question?
No,
it's not a question.
No.
Okay, so is he English?
Is he from the British Isles or that?
Say that again.
Is he from the British Isles?
No.
Okay.
Right, okay, well then he is.
Crosses 4 out. So there we go.
Okay, right. So we're gonna we're gonna have to establish when he played. So did he play under Alex Ferguson? Maybe we asked that.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Right. That's the third question. So okay.
Where's Berbatov from?
He's Bulgarian.
Is he Eastern European?
Yeah.
But it's Berbatov. What position did he play? Forward?
Hold on. I'll ask the next question. Did he wear number 9 for Man United at any given time? Surely he would know that Berbatov wore 9, no?
Yes, he did, yeah.
It's Berbatov.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it Berbatov?
It is. Yes. Well done, boys. Well done. You got it.
I got this one, boys. You
just seem to know these things, Cillian. Like, I actually...
It's where I was a United fan.
We actually played this game on holiday with my brother, and he picked Berbatov, and I completely forgot about Berbatov.
Yeah, how could you forget about him? He was so elegant when he wanted to be.
He had a great touch, as I recall. But yeah, I completely forgot all about him. I was like, I don't know any Man United strikers who played around then who aren't Tevez and Ronaldo.
Oh, Carlos Tevez. Fuck, I forgot about him.
I should have picked him then. Fuck. Oh, well.
Luis Saha would have been a good shout as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of them, to be fair, who went on to have decent careers outside of United. But yeah, Alex Ferguson was really ruthless, wasn't he?
No, that was a good one though. We fairly ploughed through that this week now.
Fair play.
Well done, boys. Now we'll just end on captaincy. So who are we all picking for captain this week?
I'm going to go for the Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I'm between Salah and Jesus, but I'd say it'll be just a toss a coin on the day, I'd say. What about you?
Most likely Salah, yeah. I think it's the smart move this week, considering that's what most people on the free hit will be doing. If you wanted to go out there, you could go Trent. If you think Liverpool are going to keep a clean sheet.
No, it's too far out there.
Well, this is the thing. Like,
Come back inside.
Kanate give away a stupid goal against Leeds. Otherwise, Trent would have had probably about a 15, 16 point game there last week. So, could well replicate that this week. And then we'd be laughing if we captained him. You never really captained defenders, though. I remember captaining Trippier once this season. And that actually worked out. But I certainly won't be captaining Trippier this week.
No,
No,
right.
definitely
Good stuff.
Well, thanks for joining me, boys. I hope you enjoyed listening as well. We'll be back next week for the Game Week 33 podcast. Possibly might be Game Week 34 as well. That I think the might be a midweek game week next week, something like that.
Tune in for my spectacular end of season wild card.
Yeah, it'll be wild, all right. Yeah,
can't wait. Well,
and don't forget to like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and rate us on Spotify as well. Thanks very much, means a lot. Appreciate it. Follow Twitter. Yeah.
Okay then. Well, you heard the man. Anyway, let's wrap it up there, boys. See you later.
Yeah, good luck.